Imagine a simple jeans ad turning into a political firestorm because the president co-signed it. That's what happened when Donald Trump praised Sydney Sweeney's American Eagle spot just days after Taylor Swift casually lost her hot status in his commentary. Today, we're breaking down the politics, the hype, the memes, and why this fiction feels more real than most Hollywood headlines.
That who was?
Sydney Sweeney. She's like a very hot actress right now.
She's a registered Republican?
Yes.
Oh, now I love her ad.
Let's call it what it is, politics wrapped in fashion drama. Trump isn't watching American Eagle's runway. He's feeding red pill culture by praising a blonde celebrity, dragging Swift, and flipping an ad into a culture war. This isn't advertising, it's propaganda for clicks and political capital. Sydney Sweeney being a registered Republican, that just made her the perfect face. Taylor Swift, she's only collateral damage in the performance piece. The real headline, where attention goes, power follows. Everyone's talking about the Sydney Sweeney American Eagle ad. At first glance, it's a cute, cheeky campaign, a simple play on words. Sydney Sweeney has great genes, but take a closer look and it's clear this ad wasn't just made to sell denim. It was made to go viral and stir the pot.
My body's composition is determined by my genes. Hey, eyes up here.
Sydney Sweeney has great genes.
The internet lit up as soon as this campaign dropped. Posters of Sydney with the tagline, "Great Genes," started popping up all over NYC. You couldn't scroll on X or Instagram without seeing it, not because it was genius advertising, but because people couldn't agree on what it really meant. Some saw it as clever, others called it shallow, but the real controversy, it was the not so subtle play on the word genes. Because yes, it's genes as in denim, but it's also genes as in genetics. And when you put a white, blonde, blue-eyed actress in the center of that wordplay, people noticed. Critics started asking, is this campaign low-key pushing some old-school beauty standards? Is this celebrating fashion or making a quiet statement about who's considered the ideal American girl? Now add in the Trump factor. He reposted the ad and said it was the hottest campaign out right now. Then, in the same breath, he took a jab at Taylor Swift, saying she was no longer hot. You already know that set the internet on fire, but let's not pretend this wasn't part of the plan. Trump co-signing Sweeney, it made her campaign explode even more. American Eagle stock jumped 23%, all because of a viral poster and a president's opinion. And that's not marketing, that's mastery of attention. And it worked.
American Eagle Outfitters, super hot stock right now, $11.74, $2 billion valuation, a 4.26% dividend, up over 20% in the past month, peaked at around $13.23 on news that Sydney Sweeney has great genes. Can Sydney Sweeney, guys, can Sydney Sweeney save American Eagle? She is the new face for American Eagle, has caused the stock price to gain over $200 million in value. Sid's picks, look at all this. Can Sydney Sweeney, guys, save American Eagle?
But here's where I stand on it. This whole campaign was engineered for controversy. It wasn't about genes. It wasn't even about Sydney. It was about starting a cultural conversation without saying a word. Let's be real. You don't slap great genes on a billboard next to a conventionally attractive white actress without knowing what kind of buzz it'll create. You don't blur the line between fashion and eugenics coded language and then act surprised when people call it out. And so here's the real question. Was this smart marketing, or did American Eagle step into dangerous territory and hope the internet would do the rest? Because from where I'm sitting, this wasn't just about going viral. This was about testing what kind of messaging you can sneak into pop culture if you wrap it in enough sass and denim. Sydney Sweeney's getting the shine, American Eagle's getting the stock boost, and the public were stuck arguing over whether this was a pun or a power move. So ask yourself this, are we watching advertising evolve, or are we watching subtle messaging sneak through in plain sight? Let's really talk about the business move behind all this. Because while everybody was distracted by the jeans versus jeans pun and Trump's hot take, American Eagle was cashing in literally. Their stock jumped 23% in one day after this campaign went viral, and not because of better sales or some crazy financial quarter. Nope, it was all hype. A poster, a celebrity, a cheeky tagline, and a single repost from Trump. That's it. No product drop, no innovation, no new tech, just a hashtag and a screenshot that got people arguing. That's how fragile the market really is. You've got companies out here spending millions on ad agencies, digital campaigns, influencers. Meanwhile, American Eagle caught the wave off a viral poster and Sydney Sweeney's face. That's meme stock behavior in disguise. Retail investors see the headlines, they see the momentum, and boom, stock spikes. But there's no real value behind it, just attention economics doing what it does. And let's be honest, American Eagle knew exactly what they were doing. They leaned into the controversy, they leaned into the aesthetic, and they knew a hot name like Sydney would hit. Then Trump co-signed it. Game over. They didn't just sell jeans, they sold stock movement. They didn't need a new product, they just needed a viral moment. So if you're sitting here wondering why the ad feels like it has deeper meaning, that's the reason. Because it wasn't just about fashion, it was about valuation. They ran a culture play to boost their corporate profile. And the lesson here is this: in 2025, publicity moves stock. Not product, not performance, not long-term growth, a hashtag, a face, and a little well-placed controversy. That's all it takes to double your brand's value, at least for a week. Let's talk about the celebrity side of this campaign, because what's happening with Sydney Sweeney and Taylor Swift isn't just random. This isn't about beauty or branding anymore. This is about how celebrities get used, leveraged, and turned into marketing data in real time. Let's start with Sydney. She's rising fast. Movies, TV, brand deals, and now this American Eagle moment. But what really pushed her over the top? Not her acting, not even the ad itself. It was Trump's repost. It was political commentary. And that's when Sydney became more than a rising star. She became a symbol, a weapon in the culture war, a curated image of American beauty. Blonde, blue-eyed, clean-cut, and market-friendly, and she was labeled by association whether she wanted it or not. Now look at Taylor Swift, a decade-long darling of the same demographic, multi-platinum albums, a cultural juggernaut. But one side of the aisle thinks she's too woke, too political, and past her prime, so Trump flips the script. He elevates Sydney while publicly diminishing Taylor, calling her no longer hot.
President Donald Trump is still swooning over Sydney Sweeney and her polarizing jeans ad, calling it the hottest ad out there. Go get 'em, Sydney.
I think her ad is fantastic.
He's also dragging his nemesis Taylor Swift into the controversy. Just look at woke singer Taylor Swift. Ever since I alerted the world as to what she was by saying on Truth that I can't stand her, hate, she became no longer hot.
No matter what you think of Trump, the move was strategic. This wasn't just personal taste, this was a value shift. He took two women who appealed to similar audiences and declared one in and the other out. One was marketable, the other played out. That's how celebrity becomes currency. Sydney's name gets added to marketing reports. Taylor's drop-in favorability gets logged in political influencer charts. Every retweet, every TikTok with that ad is another line of data for brands and campaigns to act on. They're no longer just performers, they're engagement metrics, they're cultural signals, and whether they're in on it or not, they become pawns in the broader game of narrative control. Because make no mistake, this wasn't just a clash of aesthetics, it was a handoff of cultural influence. Sydney got the nod from power players, Taylor got the pushback, and both became proof points in the battle for the algorithm. And here's what's scary, this won't stop. In 2025, you don't need talent to trend, you need timing, image, and political alignment. Sydney had all three this week, Taylor didn't. So, while the public debates who's hotter, smarter, or more iconic, brands and strategists are watching engagement charts light up like election night. Trump didn't sell denim, he manipulated attention. Sydney wasn't just featured, she became a symbol. Brands don't sell clothes, they sell identity now. And when ideology meets denim, it changes the game. Drop your thoughts in the comments. And is this a marketing masterclass or a dangerous distraction? Like, subscribe, and remember, this is What's the Word. We break the noise so you hear the signal.